Hey everyone, it's Mallory here with All About Cats, and in this video I'm going to be talking about moving with cats and how to do it well. So moving with a cat can be kind of a scary prospect. I recently moved with my two cats, Wessie and Forrest, from a house where Wessie had lived for the last 10 years and Forrest had lived for the last 8. Knowing that cats are often bonded to locations and having heard all of these scary stories about cats running away from a new house and traveling miles and miles to get to their old home, and knowing that cats are very much creatures of habit who feel most comfortable in familiar environments, I was a little worried about how they would take the move. So I made sure to follow the tips that I learned from cat behaviorists and other experts over the years, and it ended up going really well. I wanted to share my experience with you and share some of the key tips and insights that I've gotten from this experience. If you take nothing else from this video, I think the most important thing to remember is that while cats tend to be bonded to locations, they mark that location through scent. And so your cat is not bonded to your old home. They're bonded to the little pieces of that place that make it feel like home. And so these are their familiar so-called scent soakers, like scratchers and beds and trees, these things that really make the house a home. And it's also you and the routine that you give them. So these are the things that are going to make any house, regardless of where it is, or even any place, feel like home. So I think as long as you're carrying along these little tethers, you can really go anywhere with your cat. The first thing to think about when you're moving with a cat is identifying the key pieces of home that are going to be the most important to your cat during the move, and making sure you're not packing any of those up until the very, very last minute. So typically these are going to be things like food and water bowls, water fountains, beds, scratchers, a tree, those key items that your cat uses the most. These are going to stay exactly where they are, even when the rest of your cat's life is being packed up into cardboard boxes. So throughout the moving process, you want certain things to remain the same. The other thing you want to remain consistent is routine. So you want breakfast and dinner, or whichever meals you're serving your cat, to happen pretty much at the same time every day. You want to have regular play times with your cat. Try to keep these things the same, again, while everything else is being uprooted. And this helps to create a nice thread that can kind of be woven through all of these different transitions and create a sense of consistency no matter what happens. On moving day itself, we made sure to put the cats into a safe room. And so this is going to be a critical part of a successful moving day. It serves two purposes. One, it keeps your cat safe. So if you're locking your cat into a small room somewhere, keeping that door closed, making sure no one opens the door, they're not going to be able to run out the front door while you're in the middle of all of this moving, right? So that's very important. The second function of having a sanctuary room like this is that it allows your cats to stay calm. I made sure to spray a synthetic pheromone product, Feliway, on their bedding and carriers to try to help them stay calm. And so this is also something I would recommend doing if you know that your cat responds well to pheromone products. And then after everything had been loaded up, it was time to pack up Wessie and Forrest core possessions and then move them as well. So I made sure to leave litter in their litter boxes instead of cleaning it out, sanitizing anything, and just wrap them up in shrink wrap so that I could open everything up and put it down as soon as they got into their new home. Taking a dirty litter box is actually what you want. So the litter boxes were put into the vehicles, and then we packed up a first day box with all of the cat's basic essentials. So these would be the things that would be opened right away as soon as they got into their sanctuary room. Now, the transportation of your cat itself is going to vary depending on how you're getting to your new home and how far away it is. For us, it was a 3-hour drive, so the cats went in the vehicles we were driving, and typically a 3-hour drive is not going to demand any kind of bathroom breaks or even any kind of food, but I did have an incident where Forrest peed in the carrier. So I put down a pee pad, but it really wasn't enough. And so that was a little bit of a stressful experience for her. It also meant that the first thing she did when she actually got to the new house was have to take a bath. So pretty stressful overall. But she handled it really, really, really well. If I were to do it again, I might pack something like Mr. Tom's Magic Towel, which is something I recently discovered. It's a little compressed towel that you'll hydrate in water, and then it contains a cat-friendly shampoo. So you can give your cat a pretty thorough cleaning about as easily as you would use a cat wipe. So this would be something to pack along with you. It's very compact and easy to carry, just in case there are any accidents and you need to clean up your cat. Anyway, once that had been squared away, it was time to put them into the sanctuary room. So again, this is kind of a mirror of the room where your cats were on moving day. In our case, it was a particular bedroom that had been picked out before we actually moved into the new home. So ideally you would have a room in mind, and you'll know that this is going to be one of the last rooms you unpack, and you'll put your cats in there, close the door, make sure that they have all of their essentials, and let them stay there during the hustle and bustle of the move-in process. So we unpacked all of the cat's basic essentials, set them around the room, and put a little cave bed into the closet. And that's where Wessie and Forrest stayed for most of the first day. It's not like them to snuggle together, but I think they were nervous enough that they both just huddled in this little bed together and just processed everything that was happening. I imagine they communicated with one another and discussed the weirdness of it all. And so this is where they stayed for much of the first day. One of the first pieces of furniture we made sure to put in there was a cat tree. And I think this was a very valuable part of the transition. A tree has a lot of great qualities for this. It's soaked in your cat's scent because a lot of cats are going to scratch on the tree and release those pheromones from their paws. They're also able to get some vertical territory. So when cats are feeling stressed, it's good for them to be able to climb up and survey their world from above. And then thirdly, putting the tree next to the window allows them to look outside and see where they are and really get a sense for their new home. And so I was happy to see that the cats both started using the tree as soon as it was there. And so over the course of about the next week was really an acclimation period. The cats' litter boxes and food remained in that room, and so they didn't really have to leave it until they were 100% ready. After a few days, we started moving the food bowls out into a main area where they would eventually be eating their meals. And so they very, very cautiously emerged and would eat their food out there. We also used treats and training to get the cats comfortable. So if cats are playing and having fun and eating treats in a new location, they can create more positive associations. So we made sure to give them treats, work on training and commands, and do that type of play to create, again, positive associations with the home. By the end of the first week, both Wessie and Forrest were feeling pretty comfortable exploring the rest of the house. So this acclimation process can take between a day and a couple of weeks, depending on the cat. So it seems like Wessie and Forrest are kind of right in the middle, and they each had their own separate approaches to this. So I think the key thing here is to create those tethers of familiarity, and then from there, let your cat do their exploration on their own and push their boundaries by themselves on their own time. Now for me, the last kind of stage in acclimating the cats to the house was going outside. Now it's inadvisable to let your cat outside unsupervised. There are lots of hazards, and this becomes more of a risk when you're in a new place and your cat hasn't created those ties to the location. So I wouldn't recommend letting your cat outside unsupervised, and I know a lot of people aren't going to want to let them outside at all in a new place. But I wanted my cats to know where they lived and to be able to experience the natural world around them. And I could tell that they wanted to go out. So they went out closely supervised and kind of explored the yard. And I was really surprised to see how eager Wessie was to explore this new place. He seemed really confident with it. And Forrest seemed surprisingly confident too. She would run out, look around, eat the grass, but she always wanted to know that the house was still there and would just run back in through the door. So I think going outside and seeing where this new little box of home was located was a valuable step in helping them to acclimate. So we're all feeling pretty comfortable and looking forward to this whole new chapter in our lives. And I think it's those little pieces of routine and familiarity that have carried us through. So in summary, the things you want to remember when moving with a cat are: 1, to create consistency and routine that continues through the entire move; 2, create a sanctuary room with all of your cat's essentials ready and let them stay there during the actual move; 3, pack your cat's essentials last and make sure you have them with you when you're doing the move. You don't want those to be in the moving van. You want to have them with you as soon as you arrive. You want to make sure you have a sanctuary room in the new home that is prepared and ready to contain your cats while you do the move-in process in the rest of the home. And you want to let your cats acclimate and explore on their own time, continuing to use that routine and pieces of familiarity to kind of carry them through the transition. So I hope this video was helpful to you if you're planning a move with cats, and that perhaps it gave you a little bit more confidence going into this. I really think that cats are resilient and durable creatures, and they just need a little bit of consistency and familiarity to get them through anything. So I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in more videos on all things cats, including product reviews, product roundups and buyer's guides, and other information on cat topics, please go ahead and subscribe to the All About Cats channel. I'd also encourage you to sign up to our email list. So twice a week we put out informative emails on cat news and interesting facts and information, and it's a really cool way to stay up to date on everything that's happening in the cat world, as well as everything that's happening on the All About Cats site and channel. So I'll put a link to our email list in the description, and you can go ahead and sign up to that if you're interested. So again, thank you so much for being here. Let me know if you have any tips of your own on moving with cats, and other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye.